Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to the Freedom from the Night with your host, Shantae Washington. And you have reached me at FFTN Broadcasting. FFTN Broadcasting. So today, I wanted to talk about awakening love. Awakening love. All right. Uh, um, as in Solomon, in the Book of Solomon, how it stated that the lady, she wasn't supposed to awaken love until it pleases. Now I don't know if I did the video on this, but we gonna do it again, okay? So so she wasn't supposed to awaken love until it pleases. Do you understand that? So many of us, many of us, we awaken love, and it's not time. Even in ourselves, what people say that is the innocence of us, right? Because we ain't really been through nothing. They say that instead, but in reality, that is love. That's the love that we. That's the love that's unbeknown to us. Unbeknownst to us. See, we're used to looking at love with our eyes, and so the Father always trying to knock some of us. I'm gonna say all of us humans, the human flesh, down on its knees. Every time. The Father always tries to knock the human down on his knees because what we think is love really is not. And a lot of people will try to take the innocence of a child or a woman or an elderly, you know, yeah, that which is why the Father said that you are to help these people. These people are the most people that need help because the enemy has knocked these people down. Okay, the enemies of themselves, because some people harm themselves, and the enemies from the outside. Okay, those whom they deem to be against them, that's their enemy. Okay, so some people have done this. Okay, and it's not the way. It's not the way, but that's why I say the law of attraction shouldn't be until people have truly put in the work to awaken love. Some people are not some. Every human is not ready until they ask of God. They ask of God by ask is in your hand. So is at the palm of your hand. Asking is in your hand. When somebody say the palm of your hand, like everything's at the palm of your hand. If they say that, stick your palm of your hand out and notice how it blooms like a flower when you get ready to open it. Everything's at the palm of your hand. That is letting you know that something has been placed in your hand and you hold that key in your hand. So asking is at hand. Okay? Asking is at hand. Just like Jesus is at hand. Okay? It's right here in the palm of your hand. It was given to you as a gift. That's that's that. So you're not to awaken love, because that's given to you in the palm of your hand. It's at hand. It's near. It's not that far from you. It's close. It's close. Like a kiss is close, okay? It's close to the point where you can kiss it, okay? And I don't mean that in a perverted way. I'm just letting you know that's how close it is. So to awaken love before it's time, it's that has given a lot of innocence to that doesn't go with your innocence. Your innocence need God. Because again, there are a lot of people out here who are taking innocence when you step over your boundaries. Or when you step over your boundaries, you could be looking a certain way to them, you could be acting a certain way to them. People in their mind goes everywhere, especially when they don't know how to awaken love, okay? So when you're, even as a child, let's say a child goes to their father. Now you going to your father thinking that they're going to look out for your mom, you and them. But if the enemy has stricken this man, if the enemy has stricken this man and he feel as though he's a king through egotistical duties, then he gonna be against, even if that child is assuming a position like they going to their dad for their dad to be this dad, to be this man, and this person looking like, they in the bodysuit of a man, but nothing's there. They're shallow, they're hollow, they're black. They have a shadow there. It's nothing. They're voided. They are dark. They dark. So there's no love there. Okay? There's no love there. But you're instilling love into them, which means that you are awakening love just by going to ask at the palm of your hand to the wrong person. Wrong person, wrong time. And what that person's going to do is, being that they got pure darkness in on the inside, deep within them, fleshly, what they're going to do is stir up trouble with you, the child, and that mother. Yes. So we got evil things going on out here within people close to us, close by, getting all the inside juice and stirring up things and making you look bad. They don't know what love is. They don't even want to pursue it. They know how to say it, that they love you, or they know how to say it. And then if they don't get their way, they know how to react to the rejection that seems like they love you, but in reality they don't love you. Okay? They know how to show it in reaction of you rejecting them. That's not love. That's not love. Love, what did the Father say? The Father said that love casts out fear. So that says that love casts out. You understand? Love casts out some stuff. And God and Jesus, when he was on the face of this earth, when Jesus was on the face of this earth, he was delivering people. What was delivering? Casting out. So that's telling you Jesus was loving. Because if it says love cast out fear, and Jesus was on the face of this earth casting out, delivering people by casting out the devils, casting out their thoughts, their mindset, their place in which they were being at, the humans, because they wasn't trustworthy human beings. He was casting out. That was love. Because he said love cast out. That's that. If love cast out, why we don't think that that's love? Love, that's love. Jesus was showing love when he was delivering and making people his disciple, because it said cast out. Cast out is gone. That was love. Love is the key. Love is the key. Don't forget about that. We need love. That's a must. There are people who are not ready for love. And if you giving them love in the way that just because they are entitled of love, then you're gonna get you're casting, okay? See that big word? Just remember this word, cast. Whenever you hear that word cast, put next to it out. If you're casting pearls on swine, remember they remember when the men got delivered, meaning when they got when they got loved on, okay, by Jesus, those demons wanted to be cast out into the pigs, swine, so that they can live there. So in response to that, you cannot cast out. Cast your pearls to swine. Why would you want to cast your pearls? And the pearls, they're bonds. They're those bonds. What God speak of about bonds, because they are solid. Those pearls are solid. That's why they call them pearls, because they solid. They cannot be undone. It's locked in there, and it comes through your flesh like balls. They come through wounds to cover up the wound. They come through the flesh of wounds to cover up the wounds. And flesh have many wounds. Matter of fact, skin didn't damage that. Skin that made that possible. That's why it comes through. And it's many bonds. It's a lot of bonds. It's just not a little bit of bonds. It's a many bonds. We have a lot of, this skin here has it's got broken wounds. You see the little spots in the skin. When your hair grow, you see the little the little black spots. That's your skin. All those skin parts, those are considered the wounds. Those are wounds. And guess what? God put bonds over those wounds, and those bonds lock you in like a pearl. They look like round glistening pearls, and it's ivory. It's not white, because ivory is brighter than white, which I spoke about before. Ivory is way more brighter than white, because when you look on it, white looks a little bit more dirty than ivory. Ivory shines. It has a shine because the way that the way it looks, okay? I'm telling you. And that's just it. It just glistens off of you like bronzer. Like when they put that makeup, that bronzer, that's like an ivory. It's like an ivory to it. It has an ivory color to it, and it makes it glow. So when the sun sets on it or something sets on it, it looks like your skin is just shining brightly, just like that. Okay, bronzers bring on the glow, just like ivory. Ivory sets over the body. Ivory sets over the body and brings out the glow. way more better. So it's ivory over white. That's why when you see people in the spiritual realm and they glow white, it's got a dirty look. That's evil. But when you see that ivory, it glows, and you can't take that bright light because it's totally bright. Like you can't see it. So don't settle for a little bit of white, because you can see that. But that white you can't see, oh, that's not a demon. That's God. So don't awaken love until it pleases. Meaning that it's gotta go through something. That human, not that love, but that human gotta go through a process. It don't mean they gotta go through a process of being hurt or going through what we think they gotta go through. They gotta go through what God is going to give to them to go through for them. Depends on the battle that they speak on. Everybody have a speech, and that speech brings back a situation. So for everybody, when you speak something, that things happen. When you speak something, that thing happens. So that awakens the love. That awakens love, okay? And whatever comes back to you, it's gotta be removed so that the love can take space within you. Because you've been believing for something else for so long. So it's been something in between you believing in God. And do you see that? No. You don't see that. You don't see that. But it's a lot of generational stuff going on that you cannot see, that's blocking you, between you and God. And so those words that you speak is because of what you've learned or what you've seen. So all that speech it comes back. It's like a vibration, okay? Vibration moves up and down. So when you talk, that's a vibration. So it moves in and out, in and out. Okay? Like water. Wave of water. Because that's what you are. Alright? But if you get that wine on that water, that'll settle that water down. Okay? And wine even got an ivory color to it. Okay? Wine without all that color to it, wine has an ivory color as well. Okay? And it glows a certain type of way. It makes you glow a certain type of way. It makes it makes the bottle glow a certain type of way. Okay? But what I'm saying to you is that we are not to awaken love until it's time. So do know that love casts out. Love casts out. You cannot be delivered of nothing with someone that hates. So if you're going to somebody, you thinking that they entitled to something just because they carry that suit before you, and you're casting your pearls onto them because you're casting out. So you're casting your pearls onto somebody or something or someplace. And when you're casting your pearls onto it, now they carrying your bonds, because that's what pearls are, bonds. So now they carrying bonds, and they able to take all those bonds and utilize them, and they still hollow within. They don't got no love. Love cast out. Love cast out. All right? Love casts out. And the fear is anything. Fear comes like a thief in the night. That's what fear does. Fear is highway robbery. It comes in many different shapes, forms, and forms of opinions. Okay? That's what fear does. Fear comes in all kind of forms of opinions. Okay? So anybody can do that to stir you up. Stir you up. They don't have love. Because love casts out, not stir you up. Alright? So remember that. Love casts out. Don't awaken love until it pleases. If it's not pleasing, that means that person is not ready for the love to cast out, because they still fearing something. Something is still in them, meaning that they still haven't forgiven they still haven't forgiven, meaning that they still holding on to the hurt and the pain of what the beast is doing. According to the Bible, when delivery and according to the Bible, the beast was going around serving the dragon in Revelation. Now this is the wild, crazy story, okay? That when the beast was coming and all that, well, when Jesus showed up, that was it. That was love. It cast out all that. Because they was fearing things. They was hurt. They was paining. People were hurting, paining, and going through so much. And it was of their own doing. This was because of themselves. This wasn't because of nobody else. This was because they were doing this to themselves. Okay? Because they wanted kings over them. And they wanted what other nations had over their bodies. Okay? So they wanted to place that same stuff so they can be kings over the earth as well. So they wanted that. And that's why they don't know. Because love cast out. They don't know what love is. If it's not cast out, fear still there, that means that person is not reliable. In any little touch of fear, and that person ain't got to speak on it neither. Just discern any touch of fear. And I'm saying I'm utilizing this to you for discernment. Any touch of fear, meaning that this person always let other people talk for them, or they always got to go to people for information, and they can't do this stuff on their own, like they need other people to back them up. Like that's not love. That's fear. No matter how they do it, it's being done in fear. You know? And if they got to sit there and act like they got to tell everybody about you in a negative way, oh, that's fear. That's not love. They not ready. Don't awaken it yet. Because the love that you have inside of you gonna cast out. And if they still holding on to stuff by in operation of what fear brings, they're no use to you. They still in the fear. So your best bet is to pray. Pray it out. And man, prayer is much more powerful than people think. Ugh. People are underestimating prayer because of fear. People are underestimating prayer because of fear. They believe more so for their fear, which is why the stuff that come back to them harms them more than good. Cause they got these strange belief systems in place before God, and God gotta knock that stuff down, cast it out before man, so that he can be the only one there, and they can believe on God. But it's just something how fear is, and how it forms, and what it looks like to people. OMG, what it looks like. What it looks like to people. You would never believe It's just a load of perversion. Fear is. Fear is a load of perversion. That's what it is. Fear is nothing but perversion. Because anybody that stirs you up of it is perverted. And that's all they know is how to pervert you. So use discernment as I'm talking to you. I'm telling you about discernment. Discernment is what I'm saying now. This is what you'll know. Is when somebody is stirring you up and you turn around for a minute. Just let them talk. Let them say what they're saying. Don't interrupt them, because then you'll be on their wavelength and you will be in their mess. You still want to be attentive, even if they think you in a mess. You still want to be attentive to what you're doing. Okay, you still want to be like noticeable of your surroundings and what they're trying to put on you, on your human flesh, trying to get to you. Snakes, you got to still watch out for the snakes that's coming from their tongue, that's hidden underneath their tongue, and it's coming to you because they don't got bonds. See, it's a difference between snakes and bonds. Okay, it's a difference between snakes and bond, baby. They remind me of that movie. Hey, snakes and bond, baby. Snakes and bond. It's a difference between snakes and bonds, okay? It's a difference between snakes and bonds. Because snakes come from your tongue. Bonds, they come from your tongue as well. Because it's got to be a part of you. That's all you have. Okay? All right. So, either they're giving out bonds that will, the person is either giving out bonds, meaning that God has edified them to a level in love, which we all do that for the rest of our life, because flesh undergo a lot of stuff, hurt and pain from outdoors every time. So we undergo that every day, which is why we have to be born again. When you wake up, be born again, okay? You ain't never stopping being born again. And that means that you're going to have to repent every day. Every moment of prayer, I repent. You're going to have to be on your humbling. Okay? I don't care what nobody else say. You're going to have to repent. Because stuff happens. Even when we're not even looking, hurt happens. People are wounding people without notice. And then when stuff comes to us, we wondering, how did that happen? Because you're not seeing, you're not discerning. Well, not seeing with your eyes, but you're not seeing, you're not witnessing, because God places us as a witness. That way, when he goes off and do his thing, we be witnessing of what he has done already. Okay? So, we witness what the greatness of God is. Seeing with your eyes, that ain't nothing. God gives us that ability. God gives us the ability to see from our eyes, but we basically witnessing. You understand? We just witnessing the stuff. Like when you in your dream, what are you doing? You're witnessing, because God gives the power through he gives you the power through your eyes, and he places in your hand. Okay, everything's given to you in your hand. You use your gift how you may. Okay, but best to use it the way the Lord is telling you to use it. But when you're in your dream, you can see through that awakening, that light that's open now, that light that has been come through, is piercing through. It's the light that's piercing through. So you got a little touch of love there. You got a little touch of love. Now we got to work on the next levels. Because if you're able to see your dreams, if you're able to see visions, you got a little touch of love. That means that something has been cast out. Thank God. You better thank God for that, because something been cast out. Something was on you, blocking your view, and now you could see. So when you're seeing through this, that is just by God power. being in use. And so when you open up, that opens up when it's time, and you're able to hear God's utterance, and then you receive a dream, and in that dream you can see stuff happening. You're gonna see other stuff happening to other people, what's about to happen to other people, what Satan is trying to do towards your way. You gonna see a lot of stuff when you awaken that power of God. Man, I'm telling you, love is powerful, and prayer is the way to the love. They connect. Love and prayer, they connect to each other. Oh my God, it's you don't understand. The more the love, you're edified in love, the more you can cast out, because that's what God was doing. He was so edified in love to the point where nothing was in between him and God. It was just him and God walking. He was doing what God told him to do, like he was obeying it. So it was nothing of fear in between that. So when he went forth, like God, with the utterance of God, he was able to cast out demons. So I'm telling you, love and prayer sits you down. It lets you let God do his thing. But loving, wait. Love, that's the top of the iceberg. You understand? And you being edified in it, all the more powerful. So both of them together is so powerful. And this is the thing. This is why some people, when they're not edified in love, they can only do so much in prayer. Dang. This is why some people, when they only so much edified in love, they only going so far in prayer. Because they both combine together, prayer and love, powerful. Boom! Powerful, I'm telling you. And if nothing is standing in between you and your God, that's the edification of the love. The love tears off the skin and builds the bond, and that's the glue between you and God. So the more edified, and I'm going to leave it at that. So discern that, okay? The more edified up in love that you are, the more when you come to pray, the more powerful prayer becomes. I'm telling you. And there's still some people that are still believing for some things. So that means fear still remains. And they have to get that cast out. They got to get delivered. Deliver is love. That's edifying you with love. So that's why if people give admiration, they call it's in the word admiration. When people give you levels of admiration, it builds you up. But it builds the person who doesn't have love, it builds them up in ego against you. So that's why you not to give you really not to edify a person up if they're not ready. That's mainly what it's saying. You're not here to edify a person up if they're not ready. And they're not ready because you're not God. You're not God. You can't edify this person up in love. God got to go through his whole process. He got to go through the judging, so you can see what's going on, just like he did for David with Saul. You know, he exposed Saul so many times before David that David just was like, whoa, okay, I ain't know. Cause Saul praised him so much. Saul praised David, but he didn't like David because he was dark. God was exposing Saul for hardening of heart. Okay? For hardening of heart. And you're going to need the heart. You're going to need to use the heart for things. You're going to have the heart in use. It's going to have to be used. Because that's the only way your prayer can be powerful. Is if the heart is moved. And no more stony heart is what I'm hearing. No more stony heart. Okay? No more. It's broke free. You no more broken. All right? No more broken. You're now living. So when the living, when you're amongst the living, which is why they call it the being amongst the living, when the living come out, that stony heart, no more. But again, it do take a process because you are not in control of that person. Okay, you're not in control of restoring that person. That's God's job, because He got a process. He got many things to do to remove that stony heart from that man. Okay, if you're a woman. All right. Okay. And Saul died with his and took his son with him, okay? And we don't want that. We don't want that. So, do not awaken love until it's time. And love is the thing that casts out fear. So if it's still a little touch of fear there, that means that person's still going through. Because fear makes you ask questions to another person, and you want to answer right away, you know. So you don't go to God in prayer so that He can edify you up in love, placing you as His disciple, a disciple of His Son, and then His Son can walk hand in hand with you, and you can, because I and the Father are one. Okay, they become one to you now, and you walking, talking, breathing, living life with this type of power. Prayer is powerful, but there are a lot of people that are still undergoing love and the edification of it, and they still not there yet, and they don't understand that love is the way. You have to have love, okay? Which is why people say, which is why God says that He wants you to prophesy. Once you get stuff into you, He wants you to prophesy, meaning He wants you to speak. You can't keep that stuff in. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to be in so much fear. Anxiety is fear. All type of sickness, death, and disease. All that stuff is fear. Fear-based. And that's keeping all that embodied into you. And you not giving it out of your mouth. When God put it on your lips, speak it. Okay? Speak it. Prophesy. He said when He give you the stuff, He wants you to go out and prophesy. Which is why some people like helping people, because that's you have to put it in perspective. This is prophesying. Helping people, you can call it what you want, helping people, whatever, but it's not really naturally safe to say help people, because you can't help everybody. But to prophesy, that's the same thing as that word helping people. So you're going out to prophesy instead. So you're under the will and the way of God when you're doing that word helping people. Okay? Helping people, you just can't help everybody. When you go helping people, let's say you find a job for helping people. When you go to work every day, that job may disturb you a little bit. And you helping these people, but yet that hurt is still coming on you, and you still not edified in love, then you're doing it for nothing. You're doing that job for nothing. Okay? Because you're only going to get mad. You're only going to get angry. You're going to be unsatisfied with your job. Unsatisfied first with yourself. Okay? Because you're going to get a beating. All right? That beating gonna come. And God said he don't want you to beat on yourself. And that's it on that. Alright? Love casts out stuff. And the more edified in love you are, and I want you to use this discernment, because that's what this is. The more edified in love that you become, the more powerful your prayer becomes. And that's why a lot of people can't see for prayer, because they not edified in love. Because they don't feel love has anything to do with anything. Yes, it does. You connect the two, bam, powerful. And when you speak something out your mouth, it won't be no snakes. Won't be no sparing the rods. It's going to be something coming from that. Bonds. It's going to be broken. It's going to be bonds let out. Cast out. It's going to be bonds cast out. We say let out, right? But God uses the word cast out. So it's going to be bonds cast out. All right? And that's what's going to make you free. Alright? Okay. So, get more and more edified in love. It's not no level in which you quit loving in the way God has told you to love. But you keep going, because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new life worth living. And getting through. What is life? Life is breathing. When you got breath in your lungs, that's life. Because God gave that to you. Life. Life ain't when they sing that song with Martin Lawrence and that other guy in that movie, life. That ain't life. Life ain't doing time in the pen. That ain't life. All right. Gotta go. Bye.